Okay, let's get question 101 to 105 tidied up. Okay, question 101 to 105. So we're talking about the zero-based budgeting system here. So with zero-based budgeting, we're starting from scratch. So we take on the information fresh. We forget everything that's happened in the past and start with a clean sheet. Typically for advertising, training, discretionary costs, we do this where we would like to get to the bottom of things and ask people to prove why they should give us that money, why we should give them that money. So make sure have a read of the theory again, but that's the basic principle. So currently, it says the current year budget is 200 and inflation is expected at 5%. So we would have been using this method if we were talking about the incremental method. We're not. Right now, the guy's giving us a new price, new charge, so we completely discount the future. He tells us that he charges us $530 a month, if you like, to clean up 35 miles. So that's a month. So definitely for the year, we're literally multiplying all of this together. Bang all that into your calculator, and you should get C, 222,600. That's exactly what's happening. So, I mean, again, just in case you were thinking about it, there's nothing. Inflation is based on a cost of last year, and we're trying to increase it to make sure it matches this year. This time, we're given this is the current price, what he's charging us. So there's nothing to do with inflation. Don't multiply that again by inflation. Here they've told us what the again. I'm sure you're doing the questions before you approach these, so you already know you've done it and you're just checking your answer. You've set this at 480. It's been set at 480,000. It's telling us this is what last year was, and then they give us incremental and zero, and ask us to figure out which one they used to arrive at this figure. So let's look at the incremental first. So if it was incremental, they would have said 450,000 times 1.05. Yes, 450,000, 450,000 times 1.05 would take you to 472,500, and that is not that. So they haven't used an incremental method. What have they done? They've estimated that 750 staff will require meals for 320 days, and therefore at a cost of £2, you multiply all this together and shebang, you get 480,000. So they have used a zero-based budgeting. Beyond budgeting is a more conceptual idea. Looking at your text, that's really to do with thinking holistically and thinking about, as opposed to thinking just about costs, think about profit-making ideas. Let's just go to it very briefly. It's really just sort of saying, if you like, it's look at the definition here. It's a bigger theory. Beyond budgeting encourages a holistic and flexible approach. Longer-term goals and objectives are set, if you like. So the whole idea is looking past just costing and looking at how do we improve, how do we use budgeting for making long-term decisions, as opposed to typically, because short-term decisions tend to make people act or carry out what's referred to as short-termism. Yes, they tend to act in the short term and then therefore make decisions in the short term because they have to achieve these goals in the short term and get their bonuses. So that's what that is about. And rolling budgets are pretty much saying that we sort of look at the budget it's still incremental, we're just addressing it every 3 months or something along those lines. So 3 months, and we almost build a new budget every 3 months. But rolling budgets are fundamentally based on incremental budgeting, just over 3 months. So the answer was A there. Some more calculation here. It says here that these guys have a budget for ground maintenance. This is the current situation. And we want to go for a zero basis. So what are we saying? 3 areas here. Grassed areas, play areas, and pathways. Again, you've read the question before coming to this. So there's 12,000 meters of grassed areas, and he's wanting to give us £1.20 per month. So of course we're looking at a year. That's the whole thing. It's annual. Play areas. There are 3 play areas, and he's willing to charge us £1,000 a year. And pathways. It's 300 meters of pathways, and he's willing to charge us £6 per month to maintain each meter of pathway. We multiply that by 12. So multiply all this, multiply all this, multiply all this, and that should bring you to the comfortable figure of 207,400. That's what we're really. Oh, sorry. There's also a charity of 10,000, a grant of 10,000 as well. To add to that, and you will arrive at 207,400. Yes, this times this times this, plus 3 times 1,000, plus this times 12, and you will arrive at 207,400. And for this section here, question 105, what we have here is again something very similar. We just have a project. Just take it step by step. Be careful. It says that in this you have 4 members. So you have a team member, 250 hours, but they're being paid £25, if you like. Then you now have the other members, 250, there's 3 of them, and they're being paid 15. Then you're going to hire these consultants for £10,000. Consultants, fixed price. Legal advisors, 2 of them. Just 2,000. It's 2 days of advice. 2 days. So that's 2 times 2,000, which is 4,000. And then you also will give 8,000 to this budget. So 250 times 25 is 6,250, and then you have 250 times 3 times 15, and there you have here 1,250. So you have that plus the 1,000, which is what the 10,000. Look at me very carefully. Lost that there. 10,000. Then you have the 4,000. You have the 8,000. Add all that together, and you get 39,500. Great. So that's question 101, I believe, to 105. See you in the next set of videos.